Oh, I love hearing the birds chirp. Oh, and I love cute animals too. Hey, it's Emmy. And what is more exciting than starting a brand new world? I would like to welcome you to my very first episode of what I am calling my Cozy Adventure series in a modded, relatively peaceful world, but not entirely, so be careful. Okay, fine, that's not a proper title, but oh my gosh, this is going to be so cool. Just trust me, I'll explain it to you in just a bit. As you can see, this obviously is not your typical vanilla Minecraft world. I actually added a bunch of mods to it that would, oh, I love the little sheep, he's so cute, that would make it more cozy and give it more personality. The one that's changing the landscape is Biomes O'Plenty. And the biggest twist of all is part of what I consider cozy is to be able to live in a world without things constantly trying to kill us. I want to be able to relax and enjoy the environment, build in peace. So I got the idea from my friend Isabox, who I know from the Craftworks server. And she has done this series of an entirely modded peaceful world. And I actually never really considered doing a peaceful world before. But I also didn't want to completely give up all of the hostile mobs. So I added this mod that allows me to set different rules. So what I did was I've set the rules for this world so that we are not going to have any mobs that spawn because of light levels. So we can wander through the world and enjoy some peaceful evenings, which I love that idea. We can build at night, go exploring at night, go caving, and we're not going to have to worry about things trying to kill us. However, kind of just like in real life, if you wander into a neighborhood you shouldn't be in, you got to be careful. That's kind of the same for us. If we encounter a structure that naturally spawns hostile mobs, or if we go underground and we encounter a mob spawner, well, guess what? We're going to have to defend ourselves because there will be hostile mobs then. So we're still going to have to worry about armor. We're still going to have to worry about weapons. Ooh, I love that bed design. But for the most part, in our little safe areas, we can still relax and be chill. So I thought that's a really cool angle to take. Now, if that's something that you're interested in, if you want to know more about it, let me know in the comments and I will let you know all about that mod and what you need to do in order to achieve the same thing in your world. I also treated myself to the tree harvester mod, so if I crouch and chop down the tree, woohoo! the whole thing falls. I figured that will save us some valuable time. Oh my gosh, look at that village. I love the enhanced villages. I just don't understand why Minecraft doesn't up their village game with the default installation. Okay, so we have to go over and check out the village. It is our obligation. It's so cool looking. But hopefully we can get some good supplies. Yes, I know I could have made a boat, but we'll worry about that later. Nothing beats a little dip in the fresh water, right? I don't know, I just think it's nice to finally see terracotta put to some good use. It's nice to have a little bit of color instead of everything either being wood or stone, What the heck is up with these? All right, let's do a little chop and see what happens. Whoop! Nothing, it didn't even drop anything. That's kind of weird. All right, so let's gotta check this place out. Hello, Shaggy. Doesn't he look like his name should be Shaggy? Anyway, yes, let's go check out and see what we can borrow. I love the fresh animations. Villagers are so cute. Wow. Times are tough, eh, buddy? Oh, and here's something else I don't want to forget to let you know. I just thought this would be kind of fun to add. I've got another mod called Villager Names. So anybody that has commented on any of my videos or that will do so in the future, I'm going to add your names to this ever-growing text file so that as I encounter villagers throughout the world and future worlds, you will be potentially one of the villagers that is named in my world. Nice. All right, let's grab all this food and all these goodies. All right, I definitely am not going to make you suffer through me going through all of these houses and all of these chests. Ooh, that's right. I did add the Waystones mod because I wasn't 100% sure if we are going to be able to get to the dragon fight or not. I'm assuming the dragon will spawn with the way I've got this set up, but you never know. But in the meantime, just in case we need help traveling, we will have access to the waystones. And if you don't know what waystones are, it pretty much, if it's within a certain radius, you can travel for free, but otherwise it uses XP points, and it will pretty much teleport you from one waypoint to the other, or one waystone to the other, I should say. Did I mention food should not be a problem? All right, it is now officially our first nighttime experience, and I am happy to say that I think we are successful. I have not seen any mobs spawning around. So this is great because we get the best of both worlds. We get to enjoy the cozy evening vibes and not worry about things trying to kill us, but we'll still have plenty of adventure in the game. And food. Lots and lots of food. As I was making my way through the village, I found one of these houses had like this really plentiful garden area that has like all the different crops. I had installed the Croptopia mod, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. But this had like, I don't know if it's all of them, but a lot of the, I can speak, words are hard, a lot of the different crops that we're going to need. But I really want to kind of try to find them naturally as well, so I'm not going to grab from the garden yet. But it's nice to know that we have them if we need them. And please do note, very cool leather hat. I'm not sure what textures it like this, but super cool. And I found some iron boots. So if I'm being honest, I don't usually mess around with like the food recipes and stuff in the different modded worlds because, I don't know, it just seems like bread or potatoes is fast and efficient and does what I need it to do. Whoa, that is super cool. I can't wait to see that in the daytime. But this world's going to be different. I just want to do things not because we need to do them, but because I want to do them. I want it to be fun, and I want to have kind of a quirky, chill time here. So, in the meantime, I think we should go ahead and set up our little, not a base, but just kind of a little gathering point here until we can find where we want to build our starter home. And I think probably that's going to be our first order of business, is to kind of start to venture out a little bit. Let's find where we want to build at and see what is in the surrounding areas here, and we will take it from there. And I couldn't help but notice that this little pillar over here is actually made of iron blocks. And I'm just going to borrow them real quick and hope that none of the fellas notice. Let's see, we'll put some white wool here, and you know, just nobody's gonna say anything, right? Yeah. Now, before we venture out, we are going to take advantage of another mod that I installed, and I wish I could remember what the name of the mod is, but it's for backpacks. I want to make some backpacks so that we can carry more stuff. But of course, I didn't want just a white backpack, so I grabbed some flowers so that we could make some orange. It was either orange or red. I couldn't decide. I've gone for orange. But anyway, I made some orange wool so that we can make ourselves an orange backpack, which requires a chest, 4 pieces of iron, 4 pieces of wool, and voila. Not voila, hold on. Wrong order. I'm learning. At least I remember the recipe, though. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. That was a plank, not a chest. They're so dark, I couldn't tell the difference. But anyway, okay, compact storage. That is what has given us this beautiful orange backpack. And 54 extra slots of storage space. Oh my gosh, you guys, is this world not just so incredibly beautiful? All right, let's grab some planks and make a boat, and then we can start sailing out and see what is next to us. Wow, this is very aggressive. Very aggressive, Matthew. I suspect he knows about the iron. I love when we end up in a world that's got a good body of water to it, because it makes traveling so much easier, like especially compared to having to go across big, tall mountain ranges. But I'm pretty sure I saw a fruit tree over here. I don't know exactly how many fruit trees there are supposed to be, but I know there's at least a few. All right, an apple tree definitely would be nice to have. Now, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I think you need some of the fruit and the sapling in order to craft another, apple tree, for example. And, ooh, oranges, that's kind of cool. Can we just pick these from the tree? Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. I wonder if they grow back. He's kind kind of matching the orange vibe out here, I would say. Oh, oh my gosh, this pig, you guys. He looks like one of those little pug dogs. Ooh, that looks interesting. Oh, that pig is too funny, though. All right, let's see what this cute little building is all about. Oh, it's really cute inside. Not entirely sure what this building's supposed to be, but it's awfully cute. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I also added the more music disc mod. Doesn't really serve us any purpose other than I just thought it would be kind of a fun little addition. So we're definitely going to have to get ourselves a jukebox. All right, I feel like I see some smoke rising. Is this another village that we have to explore? It looks like a standalone structure, so we'll have to go check it out. All right, let me grab this fir tree real quick, and then we'll go check out that building and see what it has. Wow, well, that's weird. It replanted some of the saplings. Wow, it's a lot of wood. Good grief. Yeah, look at that. I don't know how that happened. It's cool, though. All right, let's see what goodies we have. Uh-oh. I heard something, and that does not sound friendly. And a couple of wolves out here. I do not have a good feeling about this. Let's see if we can see through the windows or something. I don't see anybody. I definitely hear somebody. I know we should just walk away. We could just go peek in the door, and then if it's bad, we can run. All right, nobody in this window. This is so stupid. He agrees. All right, let's just... Anything? Is it going to be a... Is that the sound a witch makes? I don't think so. He sounds cranky, though. Ooh, okay, nobody downstairs. We could just block off the stairway. All right, let's see if we can just grab a few things out of this chest real quick. Okay, I'm just going to block off the stairway for now since we know that he's up there. But I don't really want to tackle this yet. Remember when I talked about being in the wrong part of town? We're in the wrong part of town right now. So we will come back to this later. My goodness, these leaves are so pretty. I love this so much. Oh, all right. Look at. Oh, I'm so stupid. How did we end up back here? I don't know what just happened. Somehow we've done a circle. Okay. Well, as you can tell, I'm not very good. Don't have a very good sense of direction. In the meantime, let's just keep this our little secret. Okay, a slight change in plans. Instead of us wandering aimlessly around in circles, which, as I have proven, I am very good at, I thought, whoa, hello, that could have been deadly. I thought we could gather some supplies. I want to get a little bit more iron and up our tools and maybe enhance our armor a little bit more. And my goal... Wow, Iron, you really kind of got the short end of the stick here. The other ores are glowing so brilliantly, and you're just not. But it's okay. Anyway, all right. Wow, what on earth? Granite. Wow, that's a really cool texture. Okay, I'm sorry. Focus, Emmy. I want to find a mangrove swamp. And the reason is, I mean, even though I know we've got all of these beautiful new woods at our disposal, I really want the first starter home to be cozy vibes. And to me, mangrove is a super cozy, warm, beautiful wood. So what I want to do is I want to craft what is known as a nature's compass. And using that, we can search for whatever biome we want. And in this case, it would be the mangrove swamp. So we're going to stock up here on some iron and then head out in search of the mangrove swamp and see the sights along the way. Holy cow, look at how much this stuff glows. Ooh, I see glowing blue dangly things. That is so cool. Like, I've seen these biomes, or this biome, in other mod packs before, and I've just never really done anything with it. I don't want to ruin it. Can I grab the blocks without silk touch? Oh, I think I'm just going to go for it. Okay, let's just, oh, it says to use the axe. Oh no! I've destroyed its beauty. I'm so sorry. Okay, this is stupid, but would shears possibly grab it in the block state? No. Oh. Oh, poor little thing. I've destroyed it. I feel really bad. Let's at least even it out, I guess. Sorry. There you go, buddy. You look like the lighting post at the mall. But yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna move along here. It's so weird to be underground and not have mobs coming from every direction and not having to obsessively spam torches all over the place. To be honest, it's really nice, but there's a little bit of an eeriness factor to it. Man, there's a lot of iron. Oh, and oh my gosh, I thought that was emerald. That's diamond? It looks so green. Well, as long as it spends the same. Woohoo! I wonder why the block looks green. But I'm not complaining. Do not mistake that. I am thrilled. Ooh, actually, they're very, very pretty. I quickly realized that I had actually kind of hit the jackpot because I found one of those massively huge iron veins that are mixed in with the tough blocks, and it just went on and on forever. When I tell you that I was down there mining for at least an hour, I mean, it was literally at least an hour. And I just couldn't stop. It's like, you know there's more, but it was just, okay, just one more block. Okay, just one more block. I don't even think I got it all, but I got pretty darn near most of it. We do not need to worry about iron for a very, very long time. All right, so let's go ahead and get some of our iron smelting, and then we can empty our pockets, get ourselves situated, and head out in search of a mangrove swamp. What even is all that stuff? Let's go find out. It was rather unusual looking. I don't know what is that? Roe? I have no idea. I'm sure it must be used in some recipe, so I guess it's freebies, so we'll take it. Kind of weird, though. Have you ever heard that one saying? It goes something about not seeing the forest for the trees. And, you know, it kind of means that you're so focused on the details within that you don't see the overall picture. Well, I kind of feel like that kind of applies to our spawn situation here. I keep saying about how pretty it is, but for whatever reason, I never really considered it as a place to build our starter home, because I always feel like, well, you have to go explore and find where you want to build, but this is so pretty up here. I actually think we should just go ahead and build our starter home up here. I mean, it's close to the other village, it's got all the beautiful flowers, it's by a very ominous tower. I know what that is. I actually remember that from another mod series. So yeah, we'll be tackling that. It's a little dangerous, got some pretty good loot in it, but I digress. So yeah, I think we should build our starter home right over here. This is Minecraft, not Angry Birds. Okay, we keep talking about making the nature's compass. We actually need to do it. It is an unusual recipe for saplings, 4 logs, and a compass. But I guess in a weird way it kind of makes sense for the ingredients. But now we finally have it, and I believe all we have to do is put in our desired biome, and then it will tell us the coordinates and how far away it is. I've never used one personally. I finally just saw somebody using it in a video, and I thought that would come in very, very handy. What on earth is that? Okay. Wow, 3,000 blocks away. That is going to be quite the journey. All right, just in case, let's go ahead and make ourselves a sleeping bag. And what that does, it allows us to sleep without resetting our spawn point. Not that we need to sleep, but you never know, we might want to sleep. Hello, little bee. All right, and away we go. We will just follow the path of the compass. And of course, you know I'm not going to be able to resist stopping at any little points along the way. It's such a long ways away, we're going to fill our pockets up before we even get there. Hopefully the backpack will have enough space to take care of that situation. Man, there are so many little boats out on the water. It's so cute. I love stuff like that. It adds personality. Who are you? You are Cookie. Hello, Cookie. It's hurtful to call you a nitwit. I'm sorry, I won't call you that. Beautiful. Thank you, Cookie. All right, we will quickly board this other vessel. Nice. I'm sorry because I know it's very dark for you to see this, but I did see some dark oak, and we might want some of that for our build. A little bit of the dark, cozy vibes. You never know. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the dark oak on our way. And this is where that tree harvester mod is definitely going to come in handy. Much faster. Okay, we should have plenty enough saplings, hopefully, to be able to start our own little dark oak forest at home. If not, it wasn't that far to come out here. And here we are, yet again, another boat. It's really cool, though. I really like the design of the boats. Oh. Well, there must be a structure. I can kind of see it. There is a structure down there. I was not expecting company. Woohoo! All right, let's check out the boat first. Ooh, string. That is something that it would be a little tricky to come by, so awesome. And lots of fish, so my chances of taming a cat are increasing boat by boat. All right, I would be very, very happy to get a nicely enchanted fishing rod. I don't even think I need the door, but since I made them, I'm using them. Well, okay, well, we can go buried treasure hunting. So we should be getting relatively close to our treasure. Whoa! Dramatic dolphin! And, well, this is kind of sad, dude. Hello, mud gazing. Dude, you don't even have a boat. You're like... I feel like you're kind of almost shipwrecked here. You don't even have anything good to your name. Dude, I'm gonna help you out here. Let's get you in the boat, and I'm gonna relocate you to a better ship. And there's one right over here. Okay, I think you will be very, very happy here. This is a very nice boat in need of a captain. And all you've got to do is go up these steps over this way. All right, no, quit swimming towards me. You got to go on the steps here. I don't know how I can make this any... No, quit swimming towards me. I can't make this any easier for you. Just go up the steps. I did everything I could possibly think of to get this guy to stay on his boat. I just wanted him to have a happy and prosperous life. I figured once he was in the boat, he would realize how good he had it. So I cleaned up my mess, and he followed me again. So I gave up, and now I have a stowaway who will join us on the rest of this adventure, it seems. Oh. I know I keep saying it, but I can't help it. It's so pretty in this world. It's just breathtaking. Okay, I believe that we have found the X marks the spot. So we will treat ourselves to a brand new shovel and start digging, and hopefully we are relatively accurate here. I got my supervisor there making sure I dig properly. I know we could do the coordinate thing, but it's kind of fun to do it the old-fashioned way. This shouldn't take... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, this shouldn't take too long. All right, not bad, not bad. Whoop. It's kind of scary how quickly our inventory is filling up. I probably should have taken more stuff out of the backpack, but it's too late for that now. Oh, we're starting to getting to a little bit of different terrain. Whoa. Another most amazing village. I looked it up, and the mod is called Choice Theorems Overhauled Villages. Just incredible. But before we head over there, I want to grab a few of these moss blocks. This is going to come in super handy. I was thinking we were going to have to go look for a lush cave, but this will scratch the itch for now. Okay, we shall make our obligatory stop at the village. I mean, how do you go past a village and not stop? Even though I know I probably can't afford to grab anything and fill up my inventory too much, I have to still at least poke around, and hopefully there's a waystone. That's actually what I'm hoping to find here. What is with all the water leaks in this world? My goodness. All right, we'll just peek our head in. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the anvil. I know we got tons of iron, but it's an anvil and it's free. I have to. Food, and more food. But then I realized I could probably grab some of these decorations because I could use some of these flower pots. Because I really haven't seen a whole lot of clay in the world. It's probably there. I haven't really been underwater too much, but I mean, hey. These are here. I'll just borrow them. You do you, boo. Oh, awesome. I was hoping we were going to find one. That is going to make everything so much easier travel-wise. Well, unfortunately, all that looting in the village has once again filled up our inventory and our backpack. So I'm going to run everything and my friend back home, but then at least we can teleport back here. Oh my goodness, yet another boat. This one's really very cool looking. That is very... Oh no. No. I don't have any room for you. What is it with these guys? Seriously. And why are there so many named Cookie? I don't understand. I'm going to leave this boat here, and you two work it out amongst yourselves. You can have a boat next to your boat. How's that? Fellas, I've done all I can do for you. At least you have each other. I wash my hands of any responsibility from this point on. Good luck! It's always fun to go out and adventure, but it's also always nice to return back home. But we are on a mission, and we must head back out towards the mangrove swamp. My pockets have been emptied, and I am currently back en route to the mangrove swamp. And along the way, I managed to pick up another little hitchhiking friend. I'm not sure where he came from, but I guess he's going to join us on the rest of the journey now. So I should have learned my lesson. I know I shouldn't be poking around in here, but I like to see what's going on. I am confident that we are going to... cool. That we're going to make it to the mangrove swamp on this try, so... I will keep the distractions to a minimum, I'm sure of it. Oh, so worth it. And I will take the pistons as well. Well, we have definitely fulfilled the adventure portion of the Cozy Adventure series so far. And we are getting very close. We're only less than a couple hundred blocks away from our destination. I love the willow log. It's such a pretty shade of green. So we got to remember also to keep our eyes open for any unusual plantings that would be part of the Croptopia mod that we might want to take back with us. Woo! That would have been a bear to chop down the old-fashioned way. What the heck? What? Is this a trial chamber? I thought these were supposed to be underground. And it looks different than I'm used to, but I'm assuming that is just because of the texture pack. This is... I don't know, I don't know what to think about this. We're going to stick to the plan. I'm going to tell you that right now. We are going to get the mangrove propagules and the mangrove wood. But I am not planning on entering the trial chamber. I mean, I might peek a little bit, but... oh man, this mod's going to come in super handy for the mangrove trees too. They're such a pain in the foot to chop down. Ooh, you know what? I just had a good idea. We can actually put this little allay to work. If we switch out the little iron nugget that he's holding for one of the mangrove logs, then he can actually help us pick up the logs that fall that are a little bit tricky for us to go get. Brilliant. At least he's going to earn his keep, unlike the other freeloader. I do have a Better Allays mod put on. To be honest, I don't remember everything it does. I know it keeps them a little bit closer to the ground if they're untamed, and a little closer to you if they are tamed, I think. I don't remember if I still have to have the item in my offhand or not, but I will, just on the off chance. I don't want him to get lost. But he's doing a great job, man. A lot of these logs end up on the roots, and it's hard to get them all, so this is actually going to be really helpful. Why are there villagers in the middle of this? I'm so confused. Is this not a trial chamber? Maybe it's not. Maybe this is something... He says no. Maybe it's something entirely different. Why are there little safe haven dungeons and taverns? I don't know. Interesting, though. All right, well, good to know. If we need a source of emeralds, at least there's some interesting trades here. Okay, I can't stand it. We have to, I just want to get an idea. We don't have to go in, but I want to look. Ooh, I don't think this is a normal trial chamber. Certainly it doesn't look like... I mean, I've only seen them once in a Skyblock world, and it did not look like this. No, I saw there was a door on the opposite side, so let's see if we can dig our way down and actually go in through the door. The doors are pretty. No thank you. That looks like a project for another day once again. But this will actually be really, really fun to look forward to coming back to. It's really pretty inside of here, though. But no, I don't want any of that action right now. We are here for the mangrove. Well, we pretty much have everything that we wanted. What is this? What? What is this? I don't like it. I don't trust it. There are full blocks of raw iron underneath the pillars. That's kind of nice, but to be honest, my inventory once again is getting very full. We've got tons of iron at home. We know where to find it if we need it. But for now, I would like to press on. Ooh. But that I will make some room for. Oh my goodness, there's just so much stuff out here to collect. Where am I fitting all of this? Let's see what kind of fruit this is. It is a date crop. Well, we have to get it. How would we not get that? You know, I wasn't thinking, but I probably should have made up an extra backpack. I'm assuming since you don't technically wear the backpack, I probably could have more than one, but oh my goodness gracious. Is that a jungle village? Oh, you know what? There could be a waystone over there that might be worth looking into. Could this possibly be a waystone? Please, please, please. No, it's... this is so frustrating because it fools me every time. Holy cow, this jungle is relatively massive, it looks like. It's a little bit confusing. How do you even get into this one? Well, this jungle was more of the same. Lots of chests that had food. It was a little bit confusing to navigate my way through the village. I could not find a waystone. If it's here, I don't know where it is. Now, oddly, there was another jungle village right next to this one, and there were actually 2 waystones at that one, so I have grabbed the extra, and then we can place that someplace a little bit more convenient for us to access, like probably closer to the mangrove swamp. And interestingly enough, inside this second jungle village was kind of like a little, pillager outpost, a little mushroom village, or mushroom, pardon me. Very interesting. I believe if I can get up here, come on now. Move. Bad joke. I believe this is kind of similar to a jungle, good grief, jungle temple. But again, space is getting a little tight, but it's so easy to get back out here, so we can definitely come in here and check it out later. All right, I'd like to get this waystone back to the mangrove part of town. Okay, what's the little spider webby section over here? Looks a little daunting. Interesting. I know kind of that, but I have never explored whatever that is. So, again, we've got a lot we can do out here. Okay, I think I'm going to place the waystone kind of over in the middle section of the first village. If I can find it again, there was a little garden area that had all sorts of good crops. And it will be close to the mangrove swamp and close to that trial chamber. So it should get us pretty much wherever we need to go. Right, I do not know if my little Allay friend will be transporting with us or staying behind. I just hope he's okay. So we'll see how we do. Whew, that's so fast. All right. Oh, you know what else? That was supposed to cost us some XP points and it didn't take any away. So that's going to be our little secret, okay? But apparently the Allay does not come through. I think I read if you have them on a lead that they will come through that way. I'll have to check it out later and see if I can get it figured out. But for now, he will have to hold down the fort in the jungle. And with that, we should actually have pretty much all the supplies we need in order to build our starter home. So I do think I want to take some of our supplies over to where we will be building. And that means I'm going to show you another mod that I have installed. It is called the Carry mod. And it allows me to pick up different items and actually carry them. So that includes chests and I believe different entities like even villagers and, maybe even the Allay, I'm not sure. Okay, so I've noticed it definitely makes you go a lot slower. I guess there has to be a price to pay. But it's worth it. I think it's a big time saver. Okay, I get a little speed boost when I jump. I just have to jump the whole way there. It's fine. I'm pretty sure I underestimated the amount of things I actually had to clear off over here. Oh. Well, morning brought a very pleasant surprise. It is the very first wandering trader that I have seen in this world. And I figured, why not make a deal with him? I'm not sure what the cypress trees are, but I intend to find out. So I figured we could play a little game of hide and seek and I would help my friend here hide in a little hole. Oh, certainly I'll never find him down there, will I? You know what? Hide and seek is for babies. I think we should play tag instead. What do you think there, Cookie? Okay, obviously this Cookie name thing is a bug in the villager naming list. I need more names. Well, at least the llamas aren't spitting at me. And for those not in the know, every world I end up taming a llama and naming him Larry. Hello, Larry. Okay, I guess I should quit screwing around and actually get to building. So because I'm so clever and sneaky, I went ahead and I did a bit of counting and placed down some violets that I'm sure nobody will even notice. But this way I will know the correct placement for the posts in the house build. But nobody needs to know that. It's just gonna look like I actually know what I'm doing, right? So to be clear, I'm not a good builder. I struggle constantly with doing good builds, and I usually have to look to somebody for inspiration. And this build is no exception. I took great inspiration from a build by Croissant Cat. I gotta love the name. But I did modify it. That's usually what I do, is I'll kind of get help with the basic layout and then just modify it to suit my own taste. I'm not an architect. What can I say? I'm trying to learn. Hopefully I'll get better. Okay, I will give you a quick free cam view, and so you can kind of see what the basic layout is like. And then, of course, we will switch to the beloved time lapse. Wow, you guys, I wasn't even planning on recording this. I was just kind of trying to figure out what I was going to do with the interior, and all of a sudden, the coziest storm ever started. I rest my case. I mean, not like I've never been in a Minecraft thunderstorm before, but I don't know, just something about this world and in this little cabin. It just seemed extra cozy, and the thunder sounded really good and rumbly, so I thought... Oh, never mind what I thought. I think we better go back inside. That was very, very close. Oh, wow. So anyway, as I said, I was trying to work on the layout for the interior. I know I want a little kitchen area over here. I'm still kind of experimenting over here. There's so many new block types to work with. Oops, and I missed a stair. But overall, I really, really like this build. And I think it fits our cozy vibe just perfectly. Ooh, that is some good thunder. I love a good thunderstorm. But for now, I think we should get some sleep and continue our cozy adventures in the morning. Now that we have our starter home built, we can focus on how we're going to handle all those seeds that we gathered from our recent adventuring. So I think it's a good idea that we work on a garden area today. But not just a simple, ordinary little garden. Let's make it interesting with pathways, maybe a fountain, and let's just really focus on making it cozy and beautiful. With all the different crops from the Croptopia mod, I tried to organize the seeds into different categories that would hopefully at least make some sense to us. So I crafted up a botanist workbench thinking that it would give us some extra functionality for the garden. It turns out it has the exact same functionality as the carpenter's workbench, but I guess it'll look nicer in the garden area. But these workbenches give a lot of really nice variations for existing blocks. Those should come in really handy for the garden area, especially for the walking paths. And speaking of the garden area, I think the area over here right in front of the house would be a really nice location for the garden. It would obviously be very easy to get to. Plus we have a ton of extra room off to the side for barns or other structures. We've even got a pretty nice flat start out here. I don't think it'll be too bad having to level out this area, and then we can also add in some dirt over here and raise up that section so it's nice and level. And that being said, let's go empty our inventory and get our tools ready and start to clear this area. So I do have kind of a general idea of how I want the garden to be laid out, but it is not written in stone. We're going to have to kind of play around with the design a little bit and see what the land is like when we are done terraforming. So what I'm thinking is I want the entire overall garden area to be fenced in. And then inside of that, we can have smaller little fenced-in portions for each of the specific crops. And then behind the overall fenced-in garden area, we can have our fruit orchard, where we've got all of our fruit trees. That's the idea anyway. The whole time I've been terraforming, I keep seeing this little fox playing in the water over here. They're so cute, but I just don't understand the point of them. Even if you tame them, they're still pretty wild. But just because there isn't a point doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. Ouch. Hey, buddy. I got a little treat for ya. Aw. I do love you too. Even if you are still very wild and ignore me most of the time. But that's okay. That's just who you are, I guess. Well, you know, sometimes I can relate. They make such funny noises. I can relate to the fox. I can be a loner at times as well. He is just having the time of his life over there. Oh, he really is cute. That's adorbs. All right, we will just plant these back down real quick and clear that spot in our inventory and get back to business. With the terraforming mostly done, we are going to need to go gather a few more supplies, one of which is going to be dirt, believe it or not. Even after all that digging, I still have an area off to the side over here that I would like to extend, but we need a little bit more dirt to fill it in with. And while I was terraforming through the night, I also replanted a bunch of bamboo so that we could get a decent crop of that going. It comes in handy for things like sticks, bamboo planks, which I'm not a huge fan of, and we're probably going to want to have some scaffolding down the road if we can get our hands on some extra string. Let's go ahead and throw that into our nature-themed chest so that we have some more free inventory slots. I know we have a lot more work to do, but I couldn't help but notice there's a couple of interesting-looking structures right across the way there. And I really want to go check them out. I promise I'm not procrastinating. Maybe just a little. Yeah, it's nice to know our little foxy friend is doing well. He needs a name. If you've got any suggestions, let me know. Oh, buddy, you caught a fish. Good job, friend. I'm so proud of you. I have no idea what this thing is. It kind of reminds me of a pink sheep. A naturally spawned pink sheep. Whoa. Pink sheep. It's definitely not your exact vanilla version, but still. He's like, I don't know, like the original gangster sheep. We need to preserve him. He's special. If you would please have a seat in this nice boat. Oh, very nice. In this nice boat. And I'm going to take you for a little ride. And you can come over and hang out with us on, I don't know if I should call it the farm, but why not? Come over and hang out with us on the farm. All right, I'm going to park you right here. I promise I will come back for you. You will have a place of honor, even though we don't have a barn yet. But, oh, he's so cute. For not liking foxes, I'm getting very attached. But Mr. Pink Sheep, I'll be back. Although I'm not a Star Wars fan, I feel like this is something that should be in the Star Wars movie. All right, so let's take the high ground and see if there is any item of interest. And indeed there is. So let's see. We could bridge over, but we've got a bucket of water, so let's see if we can get over there by using a water source. Worked like a charm. Of course it's food. That's what almost every chest in this entire area is full of food. We will definitely never go hungry. I might as well take it. We'll have a cookout. Should I try it? I know I'm only going to embarrass myself, but no guts, no glory. Oh, it's so rare that I make those. But yeah, no big deal. All right, let's see what this interesting little collection of blocks consists of. A decorated pot. All right. Okay. Is there nothing in it? Is there any chest buried here? Nope, it looks like that's about it. All right, let's go ahead and empty our pockets one more time. Where did the name tag come from? Oh, maybe that thing did drop something after all. Nice. All right, let's not forget about the pink sheep. We will go add him over to the little temporary sheep pen. I know it's not much, but I promise you, things will get better around here. You've got lots of friends. Everything's gonna be cool. I might have accidentally had one more crazy thought. I'd like to make up some red bricks to see if it would look good with our garden design. And instead of having to go out and dig up a bunch of clay or try to find a lush cave, we've got all of these villagers over here, and we have the carry-on mod, so I thought, why not just pick up a villager or three and bring them over to our side of the river? That way we could have a couple of Fletchers so we could trade sticks for emeralds, and we could have a mason that will sell us some bricks. No, really, there's nothing weird about this at all. Yep, we'll just keep you down here in the basement. Nothing at all to be concerned about. This is perfectly legal. So before we head out to gather our resources for our garden build, I think it would be a good idea if we make ourselves a couple more backpacks because, well, I have a tendency to run out of pocket space and it gets really annoying. And Mr. OG Pink Sheep, it would be an honor if you would be willing to contribute some wool to the cause. And I think gray would do nicely as well. Okay, I think those will be very handy to have. Thanks, fellas. Okay, I think before we head out on our journey, we should get a good night's rest. And that way we will be... Oh, what are you doing, little fox? Good grief. Okay, sleep and then a fresh start in the morning. All right, now that we are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, we can get ready to head out. And just so you know, I do in fact have my armor on, but I have added an invisible armor mod so that most of the time you can't see it unless I do one of those cinematic shots with the external camera. Then the armor does show up. But anyway, I digress. It is time to head out. And I figured we might as well put our nature's compass to use once again. Since we need a bunch of gravel, we will do a search for a gravel beach, which luckily is not too far away, not compared to the mangrove swamp that we went to last episode. So let's head ourselves out and see what we can find. And would you look at that? It's a cinematic shot that shows my armor. We are definitely getting closer. Whoa! Well, I guess it's nice to know we've got a supply of frozen ice if we need it. Why did I say frozen ice? Is there such a thing as unfrozen ice? I don't think so. But I'm glad we're not going that way because, well, frankly, my feet would get very cold and I'd rather stay in the warmer climates. Well, there is definitely no shortage of flowers around here. Ooh! And another village to explore at some point. And, oh, our gravel beach. It's so small. Ooh, and a waystone. That could come in very handy. Hopefully there's going to be more gravel beach over on the other side over there. But, you know what? Since we're here, might as well grab some of this dirt. I like to try to keep things looking as nice as possible. And I think we'll grab this waystone too. That could come in handy elsewhere. I think it's important to be respectful and not leave an area looking all ransacked. So we'll make this look all nice and pretty. But anyway, it's good that we're getting gravel and dirt. The whole point was I want to be able to make some coarse dirt. So this is a perfect combination. That looks like a roof of some sort. We might need to go check that out. I swore I would try to keep our sidetracks to a minimum, but you know, it's still all about the adventure. I don't know. I don't know what this is. There's nothing in here. Is there a chest buried? It does not appear as though there is. So I don't know what that thing is. Wow, there's all sorts of different things to explore out here. I love the adventure aspect of the game. That's why it wasn't just going to be cozy and peaceful. Uh-oh. That looks like a mine shaft. Yes, not just cozy and peaceful, definitely cozy adventures. Now I know this does seem like quite a sidetrack going into this mine shaft, but it's not entirely because we still need some granite that I'd like to get, and we can get that underground, and who knows what else we'll find that we might be able to use in our garden area. And our first steps in, we are already in creepy spider territory. Oh, I am definitely not a fan of spiders in Minecraft or in real life. Now, I realize grabbing these rails is not something that's going to directly help our garden project, but I love having rails on hand. They come in handy many, many times, so there's no telling what we could potentially use these for in our cozy little world. Ooh, and a lush cave section there. That could come in very handy. And I think we're going to find plenty of resources. I do not think this mine shaft is a waste of time. Not to mention, we've got some string courtesy of the cobwebs, so now we will be able to make ourselves some scaffolding when we get home. And even though we've got plenty of iron on hand currently, it would be kind of foolish to not grab the bits of iron that we see while we are down here. And this is why I am extremely thankful that we made up the extra backpacks. That is going to come in very, very handy. And granite should be no problem to gather down here. There is more than enough available. And you know what? While we're down here, and we've got some of that lush cave area, we are also going to have to be on the lookout for some glowberries, because I think those would be really, really pretty to add to the garden area. Ooh, and there's also an amethyst geode over there. That's a very magical block. We might need to grab some of those as well before leaving. Ooh, and I see the warm glow of the glowberries. They have definitely earned their name. So let's go grab some of those so that we can add them to the garden. And maybe we'll grab a cute little fishy while we're here too, because they're so adorable. Woo! You're cute. All right, we'll find someplace good to put you, and we will go ahead and grab some of these glowberries. Oh, whoops. Well, be free. Be free, little fish. I guess I accidentally dumped you out. And thanks to the mod called Friends and Foes, I was able to catch up with one of my favorite mob vote losers, the Rascal. I'm so sorry, you're not a loser. And for those that don't know how it works, it's a little bit like a game of hide and seek. You have to find him and tag him with an empty hand 3 times. Each time you tag him, he will teleport away, and you have to find him again. And after the 3rd time, he will reward you with a bundle containing a prize. So now, while we wait to run into him for the 3rd time, we will continue to gather more resources. So this mineshaft mod, I'm sure you noticed that it is a little bit more advanced than your typical Minecraft mineshaft. Say that 3 times fast. But this is part of the Young's Better Mineshafts. And I just think it makes it really interesting. It just gives it a little bit of extra flair, if you will. I very much enjoy stuff like this, that it's not like totally over the top impossible with all of these super aggressive mobs and everything, but it just gives a little bit more of an interesting dynamic to the world around you. And it also gives out some very good loot. Oh wow, Fortune 2 and a couple of diamonds. I would say that is a very good day. Well, we should probably think about heading out and getting back home. Oh, our little rascal friend. I actually forgot about him. All right, let's see if we can find him one more time before we leave here. Oh, I think I see him down there. Hey, little buddy. All right, what you got? I am rooting for a pickaxe that has silk touch on it. Let's see how we do. I feel like we've got a good chance. Oh, iron. Well, hey, it'll come in handy too. And actually, I'm really happy to have the bundle. Oh, I just love those little rascals. I think it's so much fun. It's like playing the lottery. All right, guys, let's head home. Okay, now comes the reward of all of that hard work gathering resources. We can finally start our garden build. Now we're going to start with a 3-wide path. That will be the main entrance for the garden area. And we're not savages. Let's have a little step up by putting some slabs there. Next, we are going to go 4 high on either side of that path using dark oak logs, or the log of your choice, of course. And for the top of our entrance, we are going to use extinguished campfires because I think they always look amazing. And then next to the campfire, right on the bottom of that block, we are going to place a trapdoor. Make sure it's not on the top of the log pillar, but on the bottom of the campfire block. And then inside, we'll go some upside down stairs to give a nice archway. All right, it's getting dark, so let's take a quick nap so we can get some morning daylight. Okay, I hope you've had your morning cup of coffee because it is time for us to get back to work. Now, we're not done with the archway, but we're done for now. So starting right next to the archway here, we are going to count out 29 blocks and run our fence all the way down before turning the corner. Now, honestly, from here, I'm not counting anything. I'm just using up the rest of the fence I have because how far back this goes will be determined by how our little garden plots lay out. I told you I've got a general idea of what we're doing, but we're still kind of making it up as we go along. Now, next to this fence, we are going to leave one grass block. And then I think next to that, we will do a 2-wide path. Now, this is just a placeholder for now. It's just really easy to take the shovel and do the mapping out of the path this way. But then we'll go back and we will do some much fancier blocks for this walking path portion. And when we get to the end, we're just going to do the same thing. But actually, just so you know, that grass block between the fence and the path, it's actually, we can kind of color outside the lines. We can go over here and, put some gentle curves in so that everything doesn't look so straight and rigid. It makes it a little bit more organic. Plus, we can use that to plant flowers or, whatever else we want to kind of pretty up the place a little bit. Okay, next we are going to place our very first garden plot. So we're going to go ahead and leave that grass block outline around it. And I know we don't have any water down yet, but I just want to show you that the farmland is going to be 3 wide, and then it will be 5 blocks long. And then we're going to dig out a trench all the way around it that we are going to fill, whoops, not that one, that we are going to fill up with water. We'll just get rid of that. You never saw it. All right, try and throw some water down real quick before all of our farmland dries up, but we'll be fine. All right, and so that I'm sure everybody probably knows the old water trick here, but if you skip 1 block and place another water source block, then in between you have an infinite water source. So you just keep skipping all the way around, grabbing from the block in between the water source blocks. Oh, it started raining. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Who wants to do gardening in the rain? We're going to get all soggy and track mud in the house, so we'll just throw these leaves down real quick, and then let's see if we can sleep and get a little bit of sunnier weather going here. I mean, we have been working hard. I think we deserve to have a little rest and rejuvenate a bit. All right, that should make things much more pleasant. Ooh, and a beautiful rainbow. I shall consider that a good morning gift from God, wishing us a joyful new day. Now, there was one thing that was kind of bothering me, and I want to ignore it, but I don't want to ignore it. I feel like these leaves are too dark. I want something a little bit more bright and cheerful. Is that a wandering trader scoping out our house? All right, hold on, garden. Just in case he has anything of interest to us, let's go pay him a visit real quick. All right, let's see. Flowers. We got plenty of flowers as it is. Wilted lily, not sure. Yellow maple sapling. I've not seen any yellow maples, so you know what? That might be worth a purchase. Hang on, buddy. I'll be right back. Okay. I should probably be saving the emeralds, but you gotta splurge every now and then. All right, I will take 2, please, Mr. Luke. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, we will just throw these down over here and see what we get. All right, back to the garden. So as I was saying, I'm feeling like these leaves are a little bit too dark for the look that I'm going for. I want cheery and bright and cozy and pretty. And I'm thinking maybe regular oak leaves would be a little bit better. So let's go grab some really quick and swap them out and see what we think. Oh yeah, already I like that way better. And I know it might look kind of weird because there's kind of those little wavy bits sticking out of the top, but trust me, that won't be an issue. We're going to put fencing on top of that, and it kind of calms that look down a little bit. Then the next thing we're going to do is just take out that middle block from the long sides of the garden and put in, you can do a slab if you want. I'm going to do a trap door, but just to kind of give a little walking path into the garden. I mean, technically you don't need a water block there, so you could put anything you want there. But I've got my reasons for wanting water to go all the way around, which you will see in a little bit. So next I'm thinking each of our garden plots can have a barrel and we can store our crops in there. And why not add, whoop, come on, why not add a little bit of decorative lighting to it just to fancy it up a bit. And then I think a composter would be kind of handy to have as well, so that if we've got an abundance of leftover seeds, we can just throw them in the composter and get ourselves some bone meal. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and fence off our little garden plot so that nothing comes in and tramples our crops. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to like having the 2 light posts there. We're going to try it out. And if it's too much, we'll tone it down a little bit. But I love lighting, so we'll see. We'll give it a go. But I think overall, I think it looks really nice. So now that we've got one done, we are going to repeat this the rest of the way down this side. And if my math is correct, we will end up with 5 garden plots total down this side. Now, I didn't count all the seeds. I don't really know how these are going to lay out, but we're pretty good at troubleshooting. We'll get it all figured out when everything's said and done. I'm sure it will be just fine. So one other item of interest is just know that the plan is when we finish kind of laying out the right side of the garden area over here, then we're going to take the exact same design and mirror it over on the left side. All right, we are going to go ahead and rough out a 2-wide path that will go alongside all of these garden plots. So I have marked out the very middle of the crop farm because that is where the fountain is going to go. I think it'll be easier if we have that in place first, and then we can kind of plan the remaining crops around it. But first I want to get rid of these slabs from my inventory because we're going to need to grab a bunch of blocks for the fountain. And I like the look of the slabs on top of that outer fence. I just think it gives it a little bit more of a solid wall feeling, just to kind of show that that's our beefy perimeter. And I don't know, it just makes the crop fences look a little bit more dainty in there. I don't know, that's how my mind works. But anyway, we need to pick some blocks for the fountain, and there's so many to choose from. This is the coolest addition to the game. I think it's called the chipped mod, and it just gives so many different varieties of blocks. So I'm making this up as we go along. I don't know if this is going to look good. I'm pretty sure that, I have a tendency to tweak and retweak and go back later and keep redoing things until I like them. So I'm sure that this fountain is going to be no exception. Oh, and I counted wrong. All right, so this is how I work. If I miscount, if I can borrow some blocks and change the pattern instead of having to go back and make more, I get kind of lazy like that sometimes. But yeah, it's kind of like that old saying that necessity is the mother of invention. We'll go for that. All right, so next we are going to dig out the bottom of this so we can put a nice floor in for our fountain. Really, I need to count these things out because I've messed up the count again. But let's see if we can make the numbers work and get lucky one more time here. I think we can. I think this will work out. So we'll just kind of make it like a little mirrored image. Borrow the blocks we dug out, and voila! There we go. Working smarter, not harder. Alright, so we are just going to pillar our way up, and I do want to have a little bit of lighting behind the water, so I had grabbed a couple of the copper bulbs out in from that, whatever that thing is, the trial chamber thingy that's out by the mangrove forest, or mangrove swamp. Oh, I need to get my head on straight. Okay, so we've got most of those blocks in place. Then we will put a temporary block where the water will go. And now I will practice my water clutch jump. Oops. Nobody needs to know about that. We'll only talk about the last one that I actually made. All right, let's break our dirt block and add our water. Okay, it is starting to get dark out, and not that we're afraid of mobs, but it's just a little easier, I think, to work on this in the daylight. So let's go take ourselves a well-deserved rest. All right, now we have got some morning sunlight, and I made this taller than I meant to. It's actually supposed to be one block lower. All right, let me at least break this pattern up. All right, I'm just going to go with it and we'll see how we feel about it. But I'm going to throw some stairs here. I doubt I'm going to keep the mossy stone brick stairs because I don't really think I'm going to like it. I don't think so. I really kind of think it should be granite to match the fence, but that's what I had on hand for now. So, as I debate about whether I'm going to fix the fountain, let's go ahead and rough out our path around here. And now that we kind of know how the path is laying out, I think we should actually start throwing down some more decorative blocks and figure out exactly how we want this to look. Okay, I'm going to start out a little bit crazy here, and we're going to use both the decorative granite blocks and some of the decorative not mud, what's it called? Dirt blocks. It might be a little bit too loud. We'll see. Okay, next I want to kind of start throwing a little bit of decoration around. I need to kind of start getting an idea of the vision here. And I think the azalea leaves will look particularly pretty for the bushes. And then I don't have a lot of bone meal, but we will splurge and use some of it to get some decorative grass and flowers. But I don't want it to look too unkept. Too much grass, I think, makes it look a little bit messy. And here is why I wanted the water source blocks around the entire crop area so that we could plant the sugarcane and the cattails. So now that we pretty much have everything laid out, we can kind of start figuring out this last crop area. And I figured just for some variety, we would make this section a little bit bigger. And we will just kind of snake it around the paths that we have roughed out. The other reason I kind of like having this as a bigger area is because we can put some more commonly used crops in there, particularly wheat. We always need tons of wheat, so this will be perfect for that. So the fountain's been bothering me a little bit. I think it's not quite grand enough looking with just flowing straight down, so we're going to add some blocks around the lower portion just to make it kind of fan out a little bit. All right, let's see if that makes it look any better. Oh yes, absolutely. So one thing about me is a lot of times I don't know what I like until I just start throwing some blocks down. And other people, I think, are far more organized in their thinking process, but I am definitely not one of those people. I just keep figuring it out as I go along. Okay, I did say that I wanted to come back to the entrance at some point, and that point is now. So I want to make this just a little bit more decorative, so I figured some of the azalea leaves wrapping around it, I think would look really nice. A little overgrown, but it's so pretty with the flowered look in there. And then I think if we break out one of these slabs so that we can fit a leaf block on top of there. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks really cute. And then we'll do some of the same over on the opposite side. Whoops. And then, of course, more lanterns. And now another really nice feature I think that we should add to the garden, since I am obviously very obsessed with lighting. But I think we should have a couple of nice prominent light posts for when you first walk through the gate. So these are very simple to build. In this case, I am doing 2 slabs because it makes a little bit of a more decorative brick block on the bottom, followed by a wall. a couple of fence posts. Let me get that side. All right. And actually, I think we should make it 3. We'll make it 3 fence posts up there just to give it a little bit of extra height. And then we are going to have one arm of the light post that kind of comes off to the side here. And the other one will come off the back, leading you into the garden. And then we will cap it all off with some trapdoors on top. And then finally, we will hang our lanterns from those fence posts. All right, let me give you a little bit of an eagle-eye view of where we are at. I think this is looking really, really nice. We still definitely have some more work to do, but it is really starting to piece together. So I think at this point you've got a pretty good idea of my thought process through laying out the entire garden. Hopefully, if you are thinking about doing one yourself, this will kind of help you along a little bit. I think I'm going to spend just a little bit more time on the decorative touches, and then I will meet you right back here. I can't see you. Okay, better. Okay, I'll be right back. Remember when we were talking about decorative touches? Don't judge me. Oh. So I just thought it would be fun to have a little bit of life roaming around in the garden. And rumor has it that the bees will actually make the crops grow a little bit faster. So thank you to Silly Zadge and MC Oda. I don't know about this Oda guy. He looks a little bit shifty to me. So I feel really good about the progress that we have made. Why? And they're jumping all over everything. They're going to ruin the crops. That's why I fenced them in. Oh, I've done it to myself. All right. You know what? You guys opened the episode. I guess you can kind of be in the closing portion. But we're not done yet. So don't leave because we're going to do a little walkthrough tour. All right, fine. Just real quick. Let me see what you got. Ooh, you've got rainbow birch saplings. Okay, listen, let me wrap up here because I want to show my friends through the garden a little bit. And we'll do some business when the cameras aren't rolling, okay? All right, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Okay, I did finally cave and I lowered the fountain and reworked that a little bit. I added some cute little decorative benches over here. I think they are meant for a kitchen, but I think they look wonderful in the garden. Are you kidding me? The beekeepers bouncing in the garden? Are you serious? I just can't. I can't win. Oh, no! Not the llama too! Oh my gosh, you guys, this is ridiculous. Well, it is just a free-for-all out here. Ooh, but at least we get a free lead out of the chaos. It is dark and really quite beautiful out here at night, but I think we should do a little bit of sleep to get some daylight so that we can take a final overall look at the garden. So let's take a look at all of our hard work. I'm sure there's still going to be things we need to work on, like the walking paths, and we never even got the fruit orchard put in the back with the trees. But I think it came out so beautiful. I love this garden area, and just think, this is only the beginning of what's to come. Well, today should be a good day for the animals in our little farm area over here because we are going to build them a cozy little barn so they can get out of the rain. I think that we're going to keep everything relatively close together and put the barn over in this empty spot right over here. It's close enough to the house that it should be very convenient, but far enough away that the animal noises will not keep us awake at night. I'm going to go ahead and get all of this wheat out of our way because we no longer need this little farm plot since we have our beautiful garden. And we're going to need to move our sheep out of the way as well, just so that we can kind of get all of this land terraformed and figure... Hello! I didn't realize it was a dance party. He's really excited. But we are going to terraform and figure out exactly where we want to place our barn. As for the sheep, I think we will just move them over here by this little mystery house that has been here since day one. I don't know if we're going to keep it here. I hate to get rid of it since it was part of our spawn experience, but we will have to wait and see. So let's just quickly set up a little penned area next to this house so that we can get our sheep moved over and out of the way. All right, everybody, we are going on a field trip. I promise you it will be worth it in the end. And plus you can kind of get out and stretch those little chubby legs of yours. I say that with love. All right, come on, everybody. Attention, attention. All right, let's just step up here and over the fence. There we go. Good job, you guys. Okay, now that we have the sheep moved over, that will be very helpful. And we are going to run back home, and we can do one of two things. We can either start terraforming and get that space ready. Is this another wandering trader or the one that was in earlier? Tall Pigeon. Well, Mr. Pigeon? Oh, you are a new one. Dead sapling and I don't even know how to say that, but whatever it is, I think I would like one of each. Just wait here, sir. I'm going to be right back. Hold on. Let me go grab my purse. All right. I think that should do it, and we will go out and finish our... Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Where is he? Oh, okay, you're hiding from me. All right, Tall Pigeon, let's finish our transaction here. I will take one dead sapling and one sapling that I can't pronounce. Empyreal? I don't know, but that's how we're going to say it. Anyway, thank you, sir. I'm going to just go plant these over here real quick, and then we will see what we end up getting later on. Yeah, I definitely want to collect as many wood types as I can. I know I've been using actually rather vanilla wood in all of my builds, but we are going to branch out, and it's nice to know that we've got as many options as possible. And actually, since we are right in the garden area, I wanted to show you how the crops are coming along. Now, I've tried to label them. I kind of tried to alphabetize them, but take that for what it's worth. It makes it so much easier to find what you're looking for when they're labeled. So I like to share with you guys when I find some cool mods that I think might help you, and I installed another new one called Improved Signs. And what that does is it allows you to copy text from an existing sign by clicking it with an empty sign in your hand. Super time saver. It was perfect for the garden because that way I could label the gardens on multiple sides. Silly Zad, you should be sleeping. You need to go to bed, good sir. Definitely past your bedtime. Go on. Stubborn. Okay, it is definitely getting late, and if we are going to start this barn project, I think we need to go get a little bit of sleep and start fresh with a brand new day. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and head out into the wild blue yonder and see if we can track ourselves down some netherrack. And we're going to need to go back out to the mangrove swamp to get some mangrove wood. But of course, you know, we have to stop and take advantage of any adventures we see along the way. And I'll just help myself to a couple of these bookshelves. All right, let's get to what we came here for. A golden apple? Yes. And netherrack. I don't think we're really going to need that much. Ouch. So this should be fine. Okay, we don't need to waste time and go in that building because we've been in similar ones. Okay, fine, I peeked. And there was nothing in there that we needed, okay? Fine. Well, I suppose we're this close to the top, we might as well see it all the way through. And see if there's anything worth exploring up here. Hello, sheep. Is that the village that we just came from? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. How do I get so turned around just going up a hill? Oh. We are going to have to sleep soon because it is... Who is that? Sir? Are you lost, Pickledomo? Where did you come from? I'm so confused. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick nap so we can get some daylight and get our bearings a little easier. All right, I do see some, looks like mossy stone brick up top there, so Let's go check it out. I have a feeling that might be where our little friend has come from. You know, I don't really know what we're getting into, so just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and put our armor back on. How on earth do you get into this thing? Call me crazy, but I just don't entirely trust it. Oh, okay, hold on. There's an iron golem. What is this? I don't know what this is. I still don't know what this is. Where's the villager I hear? You know what I could do, Mr. Golem. I'm not going to. Do not worry. You are safe. I come in peace. Sorry, fellas. I am going to help myself to these target blocks. You just never know when I might want to practice my archery skills. All right, let's see. Bandit, what do you have to offer? Bandit? Hello? Come here, please. Oh, well, thank you. Let's see here. We've got a bandit bow. Oh, I wish we could afford it. 13 target blocks. I've got like 3. Well, you never know. We might come out this way again sometime. Is this the, have we kind of done a weird circle and we're at the back end of the ominous forest? We are. Oh, you know what? This is a different village. Into the forbidden. Well, that's what it feels like anyway. And then let's go ahead and practice our water clutch jump off of this huge cliff. I'm totally kidding. All right, let's see what we've got here. We know we've got a dead log sapling that we got from that trader. And I don't remember if we have umbran logs, so we're going to go for it. We're just going to break the whole tree. It's awfully big. Sure is. All right, where is... I've not done a good job at all marking things. Oh, look at... Oh, that's so cute. I've never seen our house on the map. That's so adorable. Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway. Oh, dang it. Oh, there's wither roses planted out here. Ooh, this terrain is really tough to get through. Okay, I think we have finally made it out to brighter skies. Hope I make it! This is very pretty in here. I like how the sun rays come through the trees like that. That's gorgeous. Alright, I reckon we should probably head back home, and then we will just use the waystone to get the mangrove wood. What is that? Just a random floating... No, not this again. Oh, is his name gonna be Cookie? This guy's a pain in my foot. Kyoki. All right. Oh. Well, that's awkward. We are definitely not equipped for that. Were you getting in or what, man? How long are you going to tread water for? Oh, that scared the daylights out of me. I'm totally stuck with you now, Artie. Although this is not a straight boating path home. Ooh, friend or foe, friend or foe. Sometimes they're villagers, sometimes they're pillagers. Let's see what we have here. I don't know. I am suspicious. Oh! Buddy, it's your lucky day. We're gonna get you on one of those ships. Oh, wait. Yeah. They're friendly. Hey, how's it going? I have a friend here who would like to join you. You don't have a lot of room here, sir, so we will go to the next one. Okay, this is plenty big enough. You will be perfectly fine. I'm going to make you a big grand staircase so you can board the ship. And it is getting very dark out, so you're going to kind of be on your own. Yeah, we'll do an underwater step too. Look at that. You cannot go wrong. Oh, come on. All right, let's go. Let's board. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, let's take a little nap so we can actually see what we're doing. Okay. Potion of luck? I've never heard of that one before. I mean, I get the idea, but when would you use such a thing? I guess we'll find out. Oh, sponges! I love sponges. Kind of look like cheese. But let's grab the gold first. Wow! All right. Oh, name tags. That's awesome. All right, all right, that's a pretty good haul. Let's pack it up and head on out. Okay, well, that was not a wasted stop. We got some pretty good loot out of that. Oh! I was just thinking about the fact that we're out in all this open water with nowhere to lay our sleeping bag, but apparently a little bit of luck has happened upon us, and this looks really cute. I'm actually hoping there will be a waystone here so we have a speedy way to get back home. Oh, I can get a kitty! I got fish! I want a black cat though. Or an orange one. Be my cat! Be my cat! Yes! Aw. Now my kitty has a friend. We've got 2 cats for the price of 2 cats. It's a little hard to... Whoa, who's that? Lucky Lane! How you doing, buddy? Oh, no, nitwit. Whoops. Sorry, Lane. Lane, you got any goodies up here for your old pal, Emmy? Nope. Remember, all of our villager names are randomly generated from a list, so leave a comment below if you'd like to be added to that list. Alright, there's not going to be a waystone out here, is there? An anvil, I'll take that. There really wasn't too much out in this village in way of treasure. Hello, Norm. But the workstation's probably the biggest treasure that this place held, and I didn't even manage to find a waystone. So, in order to get the cats back home, I decided to put a waystone down and just do it that way. I'll either come back and get it later or just leave it here. We've got still 1 extra to spare, so that'll do for now. One for you. Oh, I hope this works. Okay, the leads should make it so the cats can teleport with us, but I'm still a little nervous. All right, here we go. Hey, we did it, kitties! You made it. Welcome to your brand new home. Come on, kitty kitty. Come on, let's bring you guys inside. Oh, this is so awesome. I'm so happy to have you. I gotta name you. Please, somebody give me some name ideas for the cats. I'm terrible at that. But anyway, I will go ahead and run out and grab the mangrove wood. Maybe I'll give you a montage while I'm speaking here. But I'm not going to make you go with me for that. We've been on enough adventures and resource gathering. I think it's time we just simply get to building the barn. Okay, the first thing we need to do real quick is we need to get the area ready for the barn. So let's clear some space, and then we should have... Ooh, and then we should have a better idea of where we want it to go. Alright, after all that land clearing, I had to lay down and rest my weary bones a bit. But now, I'm going to grab this workbench, and then we are going to figure out where we think we want to put the barn. So, I think the best way to go about that is I want to kind of figure out where we want our walking path to go. Now, this is just going to be a very rough outline of where we think it might go, but I kind of feel like it will help us better visualize where the best place would be for the barn. So keep in mind, this is very subject to change, but this is just kind of how I am able to finally figure out where I want to put something. All right, let's take a little jog back here. And you know what? Let's go into free cam. And yeah, that's actually pretty good. I might actually swing it down to the left a little bit more, closer to the water, but it's really close, and I think it gives us a pretty good starting spot. All right, so I guess the first thing we should mark out is where we want to put the barn door, which is going to be 3 wide. And then the wall on either side is also going to be 3 wide. We're going to do 2 mangrove planks and 1 log. And that will actually be the very front wall of the barn. All right, our foreman is keeping a very close eye on us. We got to make sure we do this right. So for today's build, we are just going to do it all kind of by eye. A lot of times I will use a tool called Lightmatica that kind of gives a blueprint of what goes where, but we're just going to figure it out, and if we make mistakes, then we are going to show that it is okay to make mistakes. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to place down our side wall. We're going to go back 19. So that's 1 is already here, and then that makes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 19 for the other corner post. Then we are just going to do the exact same mirror image on the opposing sides. And actually, just like that, we have got the main outline portion of the barn done. Now we're still going to have a couple of areas that stick out to either side, so we should probably go ahead and rough that in as well. All right, I'm going to place a block down to represent the middle of this wall. It is 10 blocks in. So we've marked the middle of the wall 5 blocks away, and then it will be 9 wide, so it will be 4 blocks on either side of that middle point. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then connect to the main barn. And this is going to be the pen for the sheep. And once we get the fence in place, it's actually going to end up being a 4x7 pen for them. That should be plenty enough room. And of course, we're going to end up doing the exact same thing on the other side, branching 4 blocks out on each side of our middle point and then connecting it to the main barn wall. And this side we are going to use for our horses. All right, now the corner post for the barn is going to be 7 tall. And since we already have 1 down, we will be adding 6 more blocks on top of that. Now, as we go over to the smaller side portions, those beams are going to be 4 tall, so we just need to add 3 logs on top of the existing beams, and then we can go ahead and start filling in the walls. Now, we are definitely going to add some other blocks into these walls so that we can break up the mangrove plank pattern, but I just find it easier to just stick with one to get the basic shapes in place, and then go back through later and start knocking blocks out and swapping them around and kind of adding detail that way. And at this point, this is the basic shape that you should be left with. And next is the roof. So we're going to start by placing a stair right there, and then we're going to come 1 block out, just like that. Upside down stair there, another stair here, upside down stair there, and then we're going to do 2 slabs, and then we're going to keep going 2 slabs all the way over till we get to the middle. So 1 is going to adjoin there, and 1 up top, 1 joins there, 1 up top. I should have marked the middle of this, shouldn't I? I think it's right here. 1 joins here, and 1 up top. That should be the middle. And then you'll just repeat the exact same thing on the opposite side. And once that is done, we will run back and take a look, and it looks absolutely fabulous. We will just carry on with the opposite side and then connect them. So now we just hope that we did everything right, and we will bridge across and hope that they meet up perfectly. Perfection. Okay, now that we have the main roof outlined, we are going to try to figure out the smaller side portions. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here. We are going to do stair and an upside down stair, a stair and an upside down stair, And then we're going to do 2 slabs and 2 slabs, 2 slabs, and then we will be in the middle. And after framing out the other side of the roof, we can start to fill it in with some deep slate. Now, like the walls, we are just going to go ahead and, and fill it in with cobbled deep slate first, and then we're going to go back through and we will texture it with some other blocks once everything is in place. And in typical fashion, we will run back and take a look. Oh yeah, it's actually starting to look really cool. I'm not crazy about the way that the shorter sides join with the main barn, so I think we're going to tweak that a little bit. I think it just needs to be down a level so that it ties in with the white trim. So we'll take a look at that and see if we can't get that looking a little bit nicer. So I think what we'll try doing is joining with the stairs, taking a quick roof nap. It's getting hard to see. And then let's try actually knocking this down a level so that it's a little bit straighter across at the top. My thinking here is that if we lower it a level, it will join in with the white trim a little bit neater instead of awkwardly butting up against the cobbled deep slate stairs. So all we can do is try and see what we think. Whoops. I'm constantly misplacing blocks. All right, let's see what we think. Yeah, I like that. I don't think there's a thing wrong with that. One thing I want to stress, you do not have to be an expert builder to do a good build. You just have to try things. If it doesn't work or you don't like it, then you change it up and see if it's any better. Keep doing it until you like what you see. And so far, I'm liking what I see. So after filling in the rest of the walls, it was time to add a window to the front of the barn. So I cut out a simple rectangle and framed it in with stairs and slabs. And I think, yes, that does a really nice job of breaking that section up. So the next thing I want to do is to add the little detail of it looking like there is a barn door on the front here. And we're going to make it look like the doors are swung open. So I think the best way to do that is with trap doors, and I thought it'd be kind of nice to have like a little window grate, if you will, in the front there. I'm not exactly sure the best way to make the doors look like they're swung open, but we'll try this way, and if we don't like it, then we can always change it. The next order of business is to give it a little bit of texture by varying some of the blocks and breaking up all of those mangrove planks. Then it was time to fence in the different pens for the different animals, being the sheep and the horses. Next, since it is a barn after all, we should make it a little more muddy and dirty inside. And apparently Mr. Furball over there has gotten dirt on his dainty little paws. I think the hay bales and barrels add a really nice touch, because I think you'd kind of find those sorts of things in an actual barn. But there's a very specific reason why I'm placing them where I am in the sheep pen here, and you'll learn more about that in a future episode. Alright, now I've got to add a couple of fence gates out here so that we can actually get into this easily. And this is going to be where the horses can roam, so they don't have to stay inside all the time. They can come outside and get a little bit of fresh air as well. And then in this awkward little space over here, I thought it would be kind of cool to lay down some logs. I don't know, maybe they fell on the property or they've got firewood. You make up your own story, but I just thought it was a nice little touch. Now that the barn is finished up, I was thinking that this pathway looks a little bit bare. So I thought I would dress it up a little bit with some little sections of wall and leaves, and still, I don't want it to be completely sectioned off. I want to be able to cut through here and there, but it just makes it a little bit more cozy. So let's go ahead and take a little walkthrough of what we've done over here. I added a little white overhang just to kind of break that wall up a little bit in the front. I changed the way that the doors are laid out. I thought it looked a little bit nicer to have it flat against the wall and then folding out on the outer edge. And then on the inside, we've got this textured dirt path because, after all, we're in and out of here. And I love this strip in the top middle. It was kind of a happy accident, so I just went with it. Now over on this side is our lovely group of sheep. Most of them made it, not all. There's a couple of stragglers. But we're going to do more in here, like I alluded to earlier. Then we've got some ladder access on the edges out here up to the rafters. And then over here is going to be where the horses go. That is if we had any horses. All right, let's free cam real quick and I will show you that I did in fact remember to texture the roof. I think it turned out pretty good though. It's kind of got some little water patterns where the roof would wear. So, I don't know, interesting more so than if it was one solid block. Oh, here comes the rain. And that's why we built the barn. So animals, I hope you are appreciating that you get to stay nice and dry now. All right, let me throw these up real quick because it is kind of dark in here. So with everything else in place, I did manage to finally go out and tame some horses so that I could bring them back to the barn. We're fine. Oh. So before we move on to this week's project, we actually have a little bit of unfinished business from last week's project. Oh my gosh, it is so loud in here. I'm going to back out so we can finish talking. So the thing that I want to add in there to the sheep pen is an automated wool farm. And yes, I want them in the open pen, not in little 1x1 cells like most people do. So let me turn down the animal sounds real quick and then we'll head back in there. All right, let's try this again. All right, I think that is a little bit better. So you see all those moss blocks right there? Those are just temporary blocks because underneath them, I would like to place a bunch of dispensers that will dispense the shears and shear the sheep. And then we are going to do a simple little redstone system above them. But there's a catch. That simple little redstone system, we need to have a skulk sensor and we need a comparator. And I don't want to go into the nether to have to get quartz for the comparator. So I'm hoping that we can get both of those items from the ancient city. Okay, I know this is really lame, me trying to put the dispensers in here, but you have no idea how difficult this is with like a gazillion sheep pushing up against you when you're just trying to inch over to place a block. It is a struggle. But somehow we have managed to get them all in place. So right above the sheep pen, this is where all of our redstone is going to go. But, you know, there is also another little catch with this. So we need to go to the ancient city, obviously. But technically, we probably should be taking something with us that has silk touch. And that means we should probably start to think about going and invading the tower next door to us. Because there is an enchanting table at the top of that tower, and that would come in very, very handy. So I thought before we go invade the tower, why don't we invite a friend over and we could, you know, hang out a little bit before we go over to the dangerous tower. And maybe we'll, you know, kind of accidentally put him in this house and trap him in there and turn him into a toolsmith. And I mean, if we're going to do enchanting, we're going to need to get a few more levels. And if we're going to have to get more levels, we might as well use a villager to get the levels. And if we have to use a villager to get the levels, maybe we can get ourselves up to a diamond pickaxe. And who knows, maybe it'll be silk touch. You just never know. Now you might notice the little arrow up there at the top. That is a mod called trade cycling. And it makes it easier to cycle through the trades until you get one you like. You can call it cheating if you wish. But I say it simply streamlines a function that is already in the game and just saves some time. I think that's fair enough-ish. All right, thank you very much, Flora Foxen. I'm sure I will see more of you later. So I took some time and started a trading relationship with my friend Dexter over here. Ran back to Flora Foxen, did some more trades over there. Managed to get myself some diamond axes, which I was actually pretty excited about. then started to worry a little bit. Not sure if pickaxes are a guarantee or not. I hope they are. Woo! All right. Thankfully they are. Little sad that it's not a little bit more overpowered than that. But hey, it's diamonds and I am ecstatic. So this means that our sights must now be set on the tower because we need the enchantment table at the top. And we're going to need to get ourselves some more levels, so I'll do more trades later. But for now, let's get ready to go on our adventure. All right, who is this running behind us? Do we need to pick him up? Norm? Norm, where the heck did you even come from? Why can't I pick him up? It's not, I'm trying to pick him up. I don't understand. Did you come from all the way across the village? Okay, it's totally, I know you can't see it, but I'm trying to pick him up. So Norm, just go in there where you're safe. No, hold on, wait a second. Norm, not my house. You're supposed to be down with the villagers in the basement. Where did he go? Oh my gosh, are you in my bed? Get out! Get out! Norm! Oh. Well, I had to sleep in my sleeping bag on the floor all night, thanks to Norm. But now we are ready to head on over to the tower. I am excited, a little bit scared, but mostly excited to get over there and see how it goes. The one and only time I've ever fought one of these towers was in a mod pack where it was insane. But I'm hoping it's not that out of control. I'm assuming this will be a little bit more manageable, but we will see. All right, so the first thing we're going to go for is 4 corners. I see the fox. 4 corners in the ground. There should be some spawners. Not that corner. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I think I see it. There we go. All right, so there's on every corner of this tower, we have to find that spawner and torch it. There is lava on the inside, as you can hear, and it's burning them up. I don't know what the point of the lava is. I think it's a great help. So it's kind of like a very bad game of the floor is lava for them. But whatever. Alrighty, get a torch there. And oh, here's the door. Let's take a little peek in and see what's happening. Yeah, it's a little toasty in there, isn't it, buddy? Okay, and then up above, we are going to have 4 spawners directly above there in the middle section. So we're going to have to go find those and torch them off as well. All right, so let's start towering our way upwards. Actually, we could go right to the very top just to see what that room looks like, because it's kind of a thrill to find that. Now you can hear the grunts of some of those naughty vindicators. They are underneath us. We should be safe in here. Still get a little bit nervous, but I think we are okay. And here's that beautiful enchanting table. I think I did call it an enchantment table before. I always get that confused. Got a handsome little armor stand over there. Nothing in here that I want to grab right at this moment. We may get it later, who knows. I am mildly excited about the soul sand here. We can get that without having to go to the nether. Heck yes. So I think what we'll do is we will end up bringing some bookshelves up here and just use this as our enchanting room for now, because again, we don't have soul touch. We cannot get the enchantment table. But that's okay. This will be kind of fun. We'll make it work. Aww. So we still need to take care of the spawners up here, and we need to take care of those vindicators, because where there are vindicators, there is also great treasure to be found. And we'll clear out some of these mobs as well. Okay, this should be the last little bit of cleanup that we need to do, but boy, oh boy, this part is definitely worth it. You'll see what I mean once we get in there. And if we play our cards right, it should be relatively safe. And if we play our cards wrong, well, let's just say it is not going to be a pretty outcome. I'm pretty sure it's behind this log railing here. I know I had trouble finding it the first time, so let's... Oh yes, That is actually a block of netherite. You heard me right. An actual block of netherite. I told you the loot in here is insane. We're going to find lots of gold, some diamonds. I believe there's lapis. But we just have to get through a couple of little obstacles first. But they can be tricky in here. They can kind of hide around corners and stuff. So we got to make sure we are very, very careful. I'm actually just going to kind of work my way over to the other side. We're going to check both sides and do the best we can. I don't want to run in there and make a mistake. Okay, we'll do a little bunny hop. Yeah, I think it's just the one guy, and he's pretty well trapped back there, so I think we are safe to go in. Even though I'm pretty darn sure I'm still a little nervous. Let's torch the spawner off so we don't get any new friends showing up. And I want that diamond over there. All right, yeah, we should be good. All right, there we go. Sorry, buddy, but gotta do what I gotta do. And now the only thing left to do is to clean up all this loot. And I think I'll just leave the spawner there. You never know, we might come up with a good idea for it down the road. And as for the netherite, we will come back for that. So now we are just going to head back home, so...
It was at this moment she knew she was in trouble.
Oh, no! I survived all the vindicators and all the mobs, and my greatest enemy was myself. I do have the Graves mod on, I think it's called, but I'm sorry. All right, let me regain my composure here, and we'll go ahead and finish cleaning things up here. Sometimes I surprise my own self, let me tell you. Alright, I realized I needed to make a quick trip home because I needed to grab the bookshelves and some lapis so that we can do some trades. I grabbed a couple of books too, just in case. We're trying to increase our odds for that silk touch. Whether it's on the pickaxe or the hoe or a book, I don't care. I just want silk touch. I love these horses. They're so cute. Oh, I'm sorry! I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Actually, I blame my cat. My cat's foot is resting on my mouse pad, but okay, anyway. Back to the task at hand. Is we just need to go get back to the tower and get silk touch on something, anything. If we are unable to do so, then we are just going to have to hope that we find a skulk sensor in one of the chests out at the ancient city, or maybe we'll find a silk touch hoe at the ancient city. I don't know. Somehow, I'm not too worried about it. We'll figure it out. But for now, the tower. Let's see how we do taking the ladder up. All right. Oh, it looks a little dark and dismal up there. We're going to have to throw some torches down on our way up. I know it shouldn't matter as far as mob spawns or anything like that, but I don't want anything here to feel creepy. I want it to be... Whoa! Whoa! No, not again. I want it to be as warm and cozy as possible. All right. That should help there. Probably need a couple more up top, a little more. Oh, we've missed somebody, haven't we? I hear him. All right, I'm going to make myself a safety platform. Oh, well, hello. You're stuck right alongside the safety platform. Oh, whoop. Sorry. Ew. All right, let's get these bookshelves put down here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I didn't even realize those were bookshelves. Like, I mean, the kind that store books. Maybe there's a silk touch in here. Let's see. Soul speed. Oh, that's kind of nice to have. Luck of the sea. I didn't even notice if that bottom one had any books in it or not. Ugh, I don't have silk touch, but we are just going to have to break this bookshelf. No big deal. We've got plenty. And of course, there are none. All right, let's go ahead and fill out the rest of our bookshelves. I kind of don't want to block that. I like having that there. I can never remember the count you need, but we'll just kind of do more than I think we need and hope for the best. All right, let's go ahead and we'll empty some of our unnecessary inventory so we've got some room to be able to grab the other books on that bookshelf. And maybe we'll get lucky and get a silk touch. All right, so the first one is respiration. Well, that actually might come in handy at some point. All right, might as well store our stuff in here for a brief moment. And let's see what we have. It's going to be things I don't really even know what they are, isn't it? I have no clue what density is. We'll have to do a little research on that one. And thorns 3, not my favorite. That's kind of a bummer. But, you know, it was worth a try, and, well, we'll just have to move forward with the enchantment process. With the thing, the thing. Okay, first thing we have to do is actually disenchant our pickaxe so that we are able to then put new enchantments on it. All right, let's see what kind of enchantments we are in store for. Oh, wait, it only goes up to level 16. Do we actually need more bookshelves? I thought we had more than enough here. Well, I guess we might as well unload the rest of them. And it's still 16. Oh, the carpet. Of course. I didn't even think of that. I just always take that for granted, but it's got to be air blocks in between. It's a shame because actually the carpet looked really nice. All right, that should fix it. Yeah, it's more like it. All right, now up to level 30. Ooh, I like the unbreaking, but I really want something to specifically say Silk Touch. And it's not going to be that one. Our last hope is a book. Man, you get Silk Touch all the time when you don't want it, but... Alright, I don't know if this is good strategy or not, but we will enchant one of the books and see if it re-rolls us anything good for another book, or if it gives us a new option for the pickaxe or hoe. And... nope, nothing there. Well, this is not looking great. All right, we just have to go for it. Come on, Silk Touch, no whammies, no whammies. We can do it. I do like unbreaking at least. Oh, I mean, it's a great pickaxe. I am not complaining about that, but kind of a bummer that we didn't get our Silk Touch, but it's okay. I am confident that we will find a way to get the supplies that we need once we get there. All right, we are pretty much geared up and ready to go find ourselves an ancient city. Let's actually take a look at our map and see where we are going to head out. We've got a few options here. We've got this snowy, icy region up here, but it doesn't really look like there's any good mountains. So we've got the icy region over here to the west. And then we've got, this looks like a really big mountain range over here. And plus I am interested to go visit this village as well. So I'm kind of thinking the big mountain over here is the play we are going to go with. And plus it should be relatively easy to get to because it looks like we can pretty much boat the entire way. So that's what we're going to do. So pack your bags because we are going to go out on an adventure. Oh, bring snacks too. Alright, as you know, I do actually like to take a break from boating every now and then just to cut through the land to make sure we are not missing any items of interest. All right, we already have an apple tree sapling. Oh, what do we have here? I know. I know. I heard you the last time. We don't need to go. We're on a mission. We're going to find an ancient city. We're just going to get the supplies we need and whatever loot we can get from the ancient city. We don't. Oh, that is so cute. You're like a little rubber ducky. Well, aren't you just the cutest little thing I ever did see? Oh my gosh, that is absolutely adorable. I love him so much. Okay, in all seriousness, we need to stick to our game plan. We really do not want to get distracted by things that really don't serve us any purpose because we have got to get to the ancient city and get the supplies we need and nothing else. It's called discipline, people. Learn from me. Come on, seriously, you didn't really think we weren't going to go in here, did you? I mean, what if there's something in here we just simply can't live without? Like a stick of butter. Or a double chest full of things we already have. Well, oh, see, I told you so. It's worth it. It really is worth it to go in these places. Always sidetrack. Always adventure. But seriously, that's not a bad deal. Let's see what there is on the upstairs as well. Oh, it's actually pretty cool. If it was early game, this would be like a real steal. You know what? I'm not proud. I will take the lead and I will take the fishing rod and the brush. Thank you very much. And the other side, ooh, a golden apple. Well, thank you. And I think probably everything else we can leave. And I mean, really, if we're going to have one sidetrack, what's the difference if we have two, right? I don't ever really remember being in a building like this, and I just heard a spider. Let's get prepared just in case. If this is too iffy, we will back out of it. I can speak words. I'm a little leery of going up there. Easy does it. Okay, I don't see anything. Silk touch? No, but still pretty good. Oh man, if we did have silk touch, we could have grabbed that enchanting table again. I will take... Whoa. Whoa, I don't even know what just happened. I guess I fell through the floor. That's embarrassing. Alright, let's get our health up a little bit just in case there is a creepy crawly waiting for us. Obviously there's a spider somewhere because I can hear it, so let's be ready. And still not here. What do we have? I'll probably wish I had it later, but I don't necessarily want it now. Well, that is weird. Not a single spider to be found. They gotta be a... Oh! I think we have found them after all. Is it worth going down there? Probably not. But you know, I am curious by nature, so... Let's see if we... I don't think... This might really backfire. Can we... Nope! Doesn't do a darn thing. I wish I had a bucket of lava. Alright, let's just do it the old-fashioned way then. Ooh, easy though. I really don't want to fall down into this. Ooh. I'll bet you any amount of money the spawner is hidden in those hay bales. What do you think? Oh, yeah, definitely. Alright, we're going to have to get the timing down just right here. Alright, let's see if we can get down there quick enough and torch the spawner. Yes! I knew it. And is there not any good chest or anything down here? Oh, well that looks slightly uncomfortable. I will go ahead and put you out of your misery. So for the most part, I would say that everything down here was a whole lot of nothing. But, you know, no guts, no glory, right? Alright, finally it was time to push onward, and we are getting much closer to the mountain range now. As you can see, it's just a little bit further away. And, oh, there's another one of those towers off in the distance. But, for real, I think that would actually be a little bit too much of a sidetrack. But We'll definitely come back for it, because as you saw, the loot is well worth it. Ah, where was all this coarse dirt when I needed it? Ooh, I think we've got ourselves a mountain range and a little village to boot. And 1, 2, 3, woohoo! It never gets old. All right, I'm anxious to see if there's anything decent at this village. I'm hoping there's a waystone. That would be excellent, because that would also make it really, really easy to get back to the ancient city. Oh, wow. A chest actually outside. All right, good stuff. Nothing that we absolutely have to have, but we'll probably take it anyway. There's such cute little setups. I love. Ooh, wow, more diamonds. Heck yeah. I love the little white picket fences on the little porches. Oh, it's hard to know. Why are there so many of the grindstones around here? Oh, you know what? We can use those for the windmill design, though. I didn't even think of that. All right, we're definitely going to grab all of those. And I suppose we should grab all the iron, too. Interesting use of birch wood, I suppose. I've heard of being stuck in the weeds, but Cap, you are literally stuck in the weeds, I think. Oh, you from there to here, you've lost your job. I'm so sorry to hear that. But hello, Cap. I guess you found a new job. That was quite the dramatic wardrobe change, Cap. But you do you. All right. Well, see you later. Bye. Oh, I really hope there's a waystone up this way. All right. Let's see if. Oh, no waystone. That's a bummer. But it is really pretty up here, though. I really do quite like it. Oh, don't jump. Please don't jump. All right, my friend. You're going to be okay, I promise. You've got a beautiful place up here. Just go, I don't know, smell the flowers or something. And, oh, I think we have just found our opening to get our way down to the deep, dark, ancient city. This is definitely going to be a huge time saver. Think of all the digging we would have been doing to get down as low as I suspect we are going to be able to get to. And that looks like it's actually filled in. We just need a running water stream. And hopefully this cuts through. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. I am so sorry, but the glow ink sacks will come in very handy for some of our signs later on. And even though we've still got a ton of iron back at the house, we're also using quite a lot of it lately, so no harm in resupplying when we see an easy source of it. Okay, we are officially entering deep, dark territory, so we are now going to have to be very, very careful. And that means we are going to have to crouch and sneak along so that we do not set off any shriekers before we even get to the ancient city itself. But it's okay, just one step at a time. Ooh, could it be in the opening out here? Tell you what, we didn't even have to do that much digging. It's beautiful! We have found it! And I think we should be pretty safe to dig down here, so I think we can relax just a little bit. Not too much, but enough to get down into the city. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is dig out a little safe room. Because if the worst case scenario does happen, I at least want to have some supplies close by. And just in case you're curious, no, I never wear armor into the ancient cities, because chances are if I spawn a warden, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm gonna either run away or I'm gonna die. Okay, it is time that we tiptoe very, very quietly through the ancient city. Now call me crazy, I love ancient cities. To me, it's like doing a jigsaw puzzle, and I thoroughly enjoy it. You just have to take your time. And oh my gosh, yes! Silk Touch! I thought, if anything, we were going to find ourselves a Silk Touch hoe. That's why I wasn't too worried about it. But a Silk Touch book is even better because I am ecstatic to get that put on a pickaxe. So let's sneak back to our little hidey hole over here, and we can put that on our pickaxe, and then that way we can get the things that we're gonna need today. All right, getting the items we need actually should be pretty darn easy. We're just about to get our first skulk sensor, and the comparator we need is going to be in the little hidden redstone room that is located just underneath that huge portal. Thanks to my friend MC Oda, I literally just learned that there's actually a way to open the redstone doors to the redstone room. So I would recommend that you go check out his channel. This video specifically is the one that will tell you exactly what you need to do to open those doors, depending on which configuration your ancient city has. For ours, we are looking for this chiseled brick right here. And all we have to do is make a noise so a jump will work. And then we run our little selves down here real quick and the doors are opened. But you do have a limited time before they shut again, so you gotta kind of hurry. All right, so let's find some comparators. Oh, that's a different room. I've never seen that one before. This must be part of the Friends and Foes mod, I'm assuming. I actually have no idea what the copper golem does. It looks super cute, so we'll probably come back here and figure it out. But, you know, now we're on that mission, so not a whole lot of time to spend on it at the moment. So let's check out this next room, and we've got some repeaters and redstone lamps. And, ooh, you know what? This looks oddly, yep, there's a comparative. Oddly like the setup that we are actually going to do for our wool farm. So might as well just grab some extra supplies while we're here. And then I think we will just kind of make our way through the rest of this and just stock up on some redstone supplies. I mean, why not? It's all free goodies. And actually, at this point, we've got everything we need. Oh my gosh, you guys, check this out. Holy cow, it's an amethyst geode completely buried inside of Skulk in the ancient city. That is really cool. Imagine running through that. Wow, that would be interesting. So on our way out, I went ahead and hit the rest of the chests that I could find on the way, hoping to find a Swift Sneak book. Usually I feel like those aren't so hard to find. It's relatively common in the ancient cities, but for whatever reason, chest after chest, I did not find myself a single one. But I did find a couple of interesting books that Windburst appeals to me. I'm not sure what it is, but I like the way it sounds. So at this point, we are home free. We just have to collect our goodies and safely make our way out of here. There is such a comforting vibe coming home to our little land here with the barn and the house and our garden. I really, really like the feeling and the vibes I get when I walk in on this. Now that we have finished our supply gathering from the ancient city, we are just about ready to go run over to the sheep pen real quick and finish up there so that we can get moving along with our windmill project, which is the star of today's show after all. But one thing we need to do really quick is we need to make a calibrated skulk sensor. So I believe it takes 3 shards and a skulk sensor, absolutely. All right, so let's take a quick nap and get some daylight. And about the calibrated skulk sensors, in case you're not overly familiar with them, you know how when you're in the ancient city and like any movement will trigger the skulk sensor? Well, the calibrated versions, they only trigger when certain actions happen. So hang on, it'll all make more sense in just a second. Alrighty, so the way this works is we have got a comparator that is going to be going into the spiny part of a calibrated skulk sensor. Then into the comparator is a lectern holding a book and quill, and we are going to turn it to page 8. This tells the skulk sensor to only receive signals anytime a player or mob like that eats. And it seems as though it's working. Actually, let's see if we can catch it in action from down here. Oh, there we go. Hey, and there it is. Woohoo, a double. And not to worry, the shears do not lose any durability if it happens to try to shear a sheep that has no wool. So it is a fantastic system, much better than penning them in a little teensy 1x1 block. So down here we've got the collection system. Obviously I do not have it unloading anywhere, so that is yet to come. I've got some ideas for that, but stay tuned. Actually, I got some cool ideas, so subscribe if you want to see potentially a very cool rest of the wool farm story. But for now, the main story is the windmill, and that is what we need to start working on. So let's head on over that way real quick. That is definitely something that we're going to have to do, is figure out which path. Oh yeah, see, I've already gone past it. Which pathway would be easiest from the barn to the windmill. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what, other than looking nice, what are we going to do with the windmill? Is it going to be storage? Maybe. We shall see. But I do know that I want to put it right over in this area. Those are some funky looking trees. That's the, I still don't know how to say it. Imperial? I'm not sure. But definitely unique looking. All right, so I'm going to clear just a tiny bit of area here, and then we're going to run back to the house and we'll load up on the supplies for the windmill. It actually shouldn't take us all that long to do, I hope. And then we will see where we go from there. So hang tight. We will be back at it in just a minute. All right, I think we've pretty much have everything that we need for the windmill. We might need to craft a couple of items along the way, but for the most part, I think we are all set. So let's head on out to our little piece of land and start building. So the basic footprint of the windmill is going to be that each of the sides is going to be 5 blocks wide, and then those sides will be adjoined by a 1 block little diagonal connector. Just like that. So while this is not a step-by-step tutorial, I think you'll kind of get the idea of pretty much how to put it together. I really like the look of the kind of more earthy looking blocks, the brown and the warm tones for the main building. But of course, you can use whatever you want. I figured we would give the doorway a little bit of an overhang here just in case it's either particularly sunny or particularly rainy. So I've actually been really excited about adding this windmill to our base. Ever since we kind of started taking on the farm theme, I just thought it would kind of add a nice little touch and kind of start to tie things together. And I mean, would I like to store some stuff in it? Yeah, I mean, I probably will, but that's really not what its function is. It's really just more about adding character to the landscape. So you don't always have to have a specific reason to build something other than the fact that you want to build that particular something. So in between each of the floors, I am kind of adding like a little roof line on the outside of the windmill just to give it a little bit more character and depth. And I think for the most part, we're going to be using trap doors for the windows, but of course you could also use glass or even fence posts, whatever you fancy. And once again, we are going to add another roof line to separate the layers. And this time using some stairs as well for a little overhang. As we get to the very peak of the roof of the main windmill area, house, whatever we call it, that is probably the biggest struggle. I don't do the greatest at doing peak designs, but again, it's a bit of trial and error. You just keep working it until it seems like everything fits together right. I did have a little bit of an advantage with this mod pack, I'll be honest, because I do have the mod vertical slabs, and it did help just a little bit getting the height that I wanted for the very top of it. So for that very, very peak part, we will go a couple of blocks, a wall, a fence, and top it off with a torch like a birthday candle. To some of the upper levels, I added a few signs just to give a little extra something something. For the entryway, we are once again going to use some trapdoors. And now for the propeller portion of the windmill, or whatever it's called. I had to look at quite a few examples, including one by Mr. Matt Ranger. I looked up a bunch of pictures online. I mean, pretty much, if you look at the pictures, it's easy enough to figure it out. It just gets a little confusing when you're actually up there building it. But for the most part, I would say it was a success. All right, now that the windmill is officially complete, let's go take a little look-see inside. Now, I'll be honest with you, I haven't done a whole lot in there, but I at least want to show you what it looks like, so let's go take a look. All right, so it's really, it's more decorative than functional, I suppose. But we do have some storage chests over here in case we ever think of anything we want to store in here. And then we've got ourselves a cozy little bed in case we are caught out in the field and need to take a nap. And then we just have a little decorative shelf here and some bookshelves, little flowers, just nice and cozy. And now there is potential on this story. I figured, I've got a few more little storage barrels and such over here. But, we may think of another better use for that space. And then, honestly, as we go up, it gets a little bit more narrow. Some people might call it cozy. I call it slightly claustrophobic. But it is kind of fun to get all the way to the top so you can see the sights. That's a good view of the tower. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I did cheat on you just a tiny little bit, but mostly because I was trying to spare you because I know this video is already getting long, so let me show you what I did. I did a few little decorations around the windmill area. For starters, I made this little cart of sorts, that like a little supply cart. And of course, then I finally did get some trees planted over here, because that's only like about 3 episodes behind already. And then just a few little decorative bits here and there, just because it was so flat and bare looking that it just needed a little bit of eye candy out here. And then I don't know what that is. Pretend you never saw it. And then I've just got to... Actually, I started with this cart and I decided it was too far back, so I built another cart up closer. And then right over here, a little bit of a failed attempt. I wanted kind of like a little waterfall pond. I mean, it's okay. Honestly, I'll probably just leave it and do nothing else to it. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but it's still pretty. Can you even believe that we've actually been in this world for 100 days? Actually, it's been a little bit more than that, but who's counting? I think we've actually got a really great start to our cozy little farmland out here. And I hope that you will join me for more cozy builds in the future. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe. And thank you so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.